Well, good morning, everybody. This is DearMamaSal on a cloudy Monday morning, 10 degrees here in southern British Columbia, which is the equivalent of 50 in American. And I'm running a little bit late for work because I needed to take everything out of my closet because somebody's very kindly offered to finish the inside of it for me. Yay! Isn't that nice? So I have taken everything out. Now my living room looks like a bomb hit it. But you know, it's like they say, you can't make scrambled eggs without breaking eggs, right? Unfortunately, as those of you who have ever done any sort of renovation know, that in order to get better, it has to get worse. And I'm still sort of recovering from when I did major renovations, and I'm beginning to think that really it never really ends, because by the time you've got through what you think is the renovation, by then there are things that are starting to look old again, in which case you have to start again. So it's a never-ending cycle, really, which is a little bit nasty. I wanted to give you the weekend update. Let me start with the weight. Well, let me start with the steps. No! Let me start with the good news. The good news is, I think it's only 145 days until spring. Or autumn, if you live in the southern hemisphere. So that's the good news for me. Right now then, steps. I had a funny day on Saturday, and I'll get to that in a minute. And that meant that I wasn't active at all on Saturday, and that is the last day of my week, and I'd forgotten that. And I missed my average goal. I was shooting for an average of 6,200 steps a day, and I missed it by about an average of 20 steps a day. And that was because of Saturday. So, a self-inflicted wound. Now, did I have an excuse? Pat will ask me. Yes, I did, Pat. I had a funky day. I don't know if you've ever had that happen. I sort of woke up sad. Now, was it sad or lazy or what? I don't know what it was, but it was just like somebody took the stopper out of the bottom of my feet and all my energy drained, and I felt badly for a little while. I thought, I need to be up and doing things. Now, I did get up and do some cooking, and I'll get to that in a minute, but other than that, I really spent the day vegging, watching movies and things. So, definitely not up to the previous week. I forgave myself because I don't know if this makes any sense to any of you. But I did say to myself, hey, Sal, the weekends are for relaxing, They not every weekend has to be about doing. You are entitled to have a day off, and that's what Saturdays were meant to be. A day off from everything. Now, on the good side, actually I did more on Saturday than I think I did, but it didn't require a lot of walking. The first thing that happened was that Benji had a group conference call for all of the people on his team for Dancember. So you all need to know that Dancember is now well and truly underway. We're going to be having weekly meetings from now on. It's really strange. I'm always honored that I'm on the team, and always honored that I'm part of the planning side of it. And then, of course, I have to secure my favorite job, which is audience interaction. As you all know, those of you who are regulars to Dancember, you all know I love kibitzing with all the viewers as the stream goes through. It just is such fun to do, and I love meeting everybody, and I love it when you all give me a hard time and ask me to tickle Stacy or whatever. It is just so cute when you do that, or give you a quick wave. It is. I just love it, and it keeps me wide awake because it is so funny. And so I obviously said, I want my job back. I don't care what anybody else does. But it's going to be obviously even bigger and better than last year, which last year was phenomenal. As you know, we raised an incredible amount of money last year. And so this year, we're looking forward to an even better year. I'm not sure what the official goal is yet, but I'm pretty sure that whatever it is, we will be doing an awful lot to try and achieve it. And I know that a lot of you thoroughly enjoy Dancember, and I know that a lot of viewers are there for the whole 24 hours, which is amazing to me. But the good news is that they're going to be a great group of people. I want to tell you part of the joy I get from going down and participating is, for many, many years, I ran a pretty big event, and one of the things that Dougie and Benji always tell me is the reason they can put on the big events that they do is from the training they got from me early on. And that they really appreciated the attention to detail. And it's a very important part. If ever you're putting on a really big event, it's funny enough, it's really important to have somebody who thinks detail. And when I say thinks detail, but you can have visionaries who can see the big picture, you can have people who are doing certain other things, but you need somebody who goes, yeah, but what if? Or what would make this more fun? What would, so you sort of have that's why a committee is always a good idea, because a committee, you will get such great ideas from people. And a lot of you know that just from living your lives. That's part of the role of friends, is to sort of bounce ideas off and talk ideas through. It's one of the reasons why family is very important to a lot of people, is because they get to talk things through. Now, I understand that for a lot of people, family isn't the place where you get to talk things through, because you don't have that sort of family, and believe me, I know about that. So, I believe that it's really a great process, let's put it that way, to be able to sit in front of one or two people, or maybe more. I think it's part of the reason why I love to do the Sunday dinner, because we get to sit down and listen to people's views on things, and we don't all agree, and we agree not to agree, which is great. On certain things, but we totally agree on others, and it's a great place to problem solve. I decided this weekend that I would do some cooking. I didn't actually get the video up yesterday. I was a little bit overwhelmed last night. So, but what I cooked this weekend, for those of you who like to know, I cooked lasagna for the Sunday meal, and I really don't do that very often. But I used what I like to think of as a multitude of, of cooking techniques. What I did was on Saturday, I browned the meat all in the halogen. I don't know why I like to use it for that sort of stuff. I think because it does it so quickly, and also it contains all the I don't know, the fats drip off easily and stuff like that, and it's just easier. So I browned the meat, and I had about 4 pounds of meat, I guess. No, I had about a kilo of meat, I think. Be about 3 pounds of meat, I guess, somewhere in there. That's my sense. So, and then I put that in the slow cooker with the leftover vegetables from the week. You know, I like to do that. I like to go through my fridge and take suitable vegetables out. I also raided the freezer to get out some root vegetables as well. And I put them all in the blender and blended them up nicely. Strained them, and then put that in with the ground beef and let it cook for 4 hours. Actually, I let it cook for about 3 hours on high, and I'll be putting up the video on this. And then I sort of started to add seasonings to it. However, I have to tell you, it tasted so good. I have to say that it really did taste great. And I thought that was particularly interesting because I cheated in the middle of it, and I'll let the video show you that. I intentionally cheated because I realized not everybody likes to make certain things, so I tried to find a nice easy way to do it, and boy did that work well. And then I made my second attempt at angel food cake in the halogen, and it looked wonderful all the time it was cooking. And then as soon as it had finished cooking and I took it out of the oven, it flopped. So I have absolutely no idea of what I'm doing wrong. I'm going to have to try angel food cake in my regular oven to see if that makes a blind bit of difference. And then the other thing I'm going to try is what I call cupcake size angel food cake. Maybe it'll work better that way. The part of me, when it flopped the second time, said, that's it. You know, no more. And of course, as fast as I said that, I wonder if... So if I have any angel food cake aficionados out there, you know, people who really know what they're doing. Then it said, you know, when you finished cooking, you put it upside down immediately on top of a wine bottle, which I did, and then it fell out of the pan, slithered down the wine bottle. I don't know if that's what it was meant to do, but it did. Scared the living bejesus out of me, I want to tell you something. Didn't know what the heck was going on. Oh, my cake! Gone. Anyway, so now I did talk a little bit about it on the broadcast, and almost everybody on the broadcast said, don't bother, Sal, buy it. And I, you know, quite honestly, I have not yet bought a bad angel food cake, so there's a lot to be said. And also, I found angel food cake is extremely cheap to buy. So why would I bother with it? Because on principle, it has me beaten. And you know I don't like that. Even with all the rain we've had, some of the trees still got good color on them. That's nice. Not a lot, but some have. So everybody, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I'm still not quite sure why I was feeling sad or whatever at the weekend, but I do realize that it's okay for me not to be highly active every weekend. And that to have a vegging day, if you like, is not a bad idea. Now, this is the joke. My idea of being a slob on Saturday was, that I had, a conference call, and then I spent the afternoon cooking, and that was lazy. Well, I didn't do any of the things I thought I was going to do, and that's why it felt lazy. But the good news is we start another week, and I can choose to continue to beat up on myself for missing the goal by a couple of 100 steps, and that was without realizing it. Or I can say, wow, I am 100% doing 100% more steps than I was a few months ago, and that's pretty good. All right, emergency vehicles coming from somewhere. Sounds like it was a fire engine. So I guess my word for today would have to be reality, which brings me to my last update, and that is on my weight. I was doing really quite well on my weight until the weekend, and I'm wondering now whether I self-sabotage at the weekends, and if so, why? I thought I was fairly good this weekend, but again, I was doing fairly well by about Thursday, Friday, and then, of course, I put a couple of pounds on by the end of yesterday. So I've got to look at that reality. Why do I do that every weekend? I work all week to keep my eating under control, and then I pig out at the weekend. And yet it doesn't feel like I do, but apparently I must do, because I seem to put back everything I've taken off during the week. So the answer is do some more. Well, to be fair, all right, let's be fair here. I did not move very much on Saturday. Had I done so, I probably would have been okay. So I think the reality is that I keep looking at these things. The reality is that I find out whether that's true. If I can just keep the step level up on a Saturday, not necessarily as high as I might do during the week, but actually keep it up, will it make a difference to my weight? I hope so. All right, everybody. So the reality of your week is I hope you have a great week. I really do. And I also hope that you look after one another, and that most of all you look after yourself. This is DearMamaSal saying, be realistic. Bye-bye for now.